This time on Sparks of Discovery.
We discover the City of Auburn. We'll begin in downtown Auburn at the iconic Toomer's Corner before exploring the rest of the downtown area.
Then we'll move on to the campus of Auburn University, where we'll enjoy some of the on-campus amenities and take in the unique traditions and pageantry of a football game at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Afterwards, we'll retreat into nature by exploring some of the great parks of Auburn, including Chewacla State Park.
Come join us as we explore the loveliest village on the plains.
I'm Jess, and this is Price. We're the Sparks.
Welcome to Sparks of Discovery.
Located in Lee County in eastern Alabama, Auburn is one of the fastest growing cities in the state. Over the last decade, Auburn's population grew by nearly 43%, from 53,000 people to over 76,000. With that kind of growth, we had to check it out for ourselves.
Auburn is best known as the home of Auburn University, which is the second largest university in Alabama with over 30,000 students. Auburn is a true college town with the campus extending literally to the center of downtown.
Here at the intersection of College Street and Magnolia Avenue is what's famously known as Toomer's Corner.
Toomer's Corner gets its name from Toomer's Drugs, which has been in business here since 1896. Founded by Sheldon Toomer, a member of the first ever Auburn football team, Toomer's Drugs has become perhaps the most famous landmark in Auburn.
The fresh squeezed lemonade will make you want to slap your mama. Toomer's Drugs is a must-visit location for anyone visiting Auburn.
Downtown Auburn has much more than just Toomer's Corner. With the city growing so much over the last couple of decades, there are new buildings being built all over the place. There are so many interesting shops and restaurants of all kinds, it made it really hard to pick just one or two to highlight. We chose to have a meal at Fusion Restaurant, and it was a really great experience. We had the pad thai and chicken pho soup. They were both amazing. Some other places to eat that looked really good were Eddie's Calzones, Taco Mama, and Little Italy's Pizzeria. But you really can't go wrong with any of the restaurants in downtown Auburn.
After stuffing our faces, we checked out some of the great shops and boutiques in the downtown area. With Auburn being a college town, there are some great shopping options for students to dress to impress or just be comfortable while studying. Jess really enjoyed the shopping scene here.
Price really enjoyed sitting outside and catching a nap. One store Price did enjoy was the Auburn Hardware Store, where he found the best cookies in Auburn, Mama's Secret Cookies. One of our favorite things about Auburn is that it doesn't feel as big as it is. It still has a lot of its small town charm, even though it's one of the larger cities in Alabama.
There is still tons of open space, with pastures and forests all throughout the city limits. Even though downtown Auburn is being developed rather heavily now, it still feels like the lovely little village it's always been.
Auburn University can trace its roots all the way back to before the Civil War, being founded originally as the East Alabama Male College, a private college associated with the Methodist Episcopal Church.
In the aftermath of the Civil War, the college was transferred to the state of Alabama and became the first land-grant university in the state. After several name changes over the years, it wasn't until 1960 that it officially became known as Auburn University.
Being a land-grant university meant that it had a heavy focus on agriculture and engineering, as well as military training. In fact, most of the male student body joined the Army in 1918, a few months before the end of World War I. Auburn is a research university, with a massive campus hosting research facilities for all sorts of different agricultural and scientific fields. We can't begin to cover all of the facilities and academic programs on campus, but some of the programs that Auburn is well known for are agriculture, engineering, architecture, and veterinary medicine.
One of the most iconic buildings on campus is Sanford Hall, which was built in 1888.
This beautiful historic building contains a clock tower and carillon, which plays the Auburn fight song at noon every day.
The oldest building on campus is Langdon Hall, which dates all the way back to 1846, 15 years before the Civil War began. It's not only the oldest building on the Auburn campus, it's also the oldest building in the entire city. Originally built as a chapel, it was used as a community meeting house and hosted debates over the question of Southern secession in the lead-up to the Civil War.
According to campus superstition, the seal in front of Langdon Hall carries a curse for those who step on it. It's said that if you step on it, you won't graduate in 4 years, you won't meet your true love at Auburn, and perhaps worst of all, your family will have 7 generations of Alabama fans after you. College football is a way of life in Alabama, and the Auburn Tigers are a huge part of that. We were able to attend the Auburn homecoming game versus Georgia State, and it was an amazing experience.
Jordan-Hare Stadium. Jordan-Hare Stadium is the home of the Tigers football team, and with a capacity of over 87,000 people, it's one of the largest stadiums in the country. Auburn has some really cool game day traditions. Before every home game, one of the Eagles from the Southeastern Raptor Center flies around Jordan-Hare Stadium before landing in the center of the field.
The Eagle flight is truly an awe-inspiring sight, and it's personally my favorite pregame ritual in all of college football. That's high praise coming from this Alabama fan.
One of the best-known traditions of Auburn is back at Toomer's Corner, where after the Tigers win, students and fans quickly converge and roll all of the trees with toilet paper. It's a fun and celebratory time for all Auburn fans, young and old.
Rolling Toomer's Corner after a Tigers win is one of the most cherished traditions of the Auburn family. If you're in need of peace and quiet away from the raucous environment of Jordan-Hare Stadium, a great place to relax in nature is the Davis Arboretum, which is located on the far eastern side of the campus.
Here at this 13.5-acre botanical garden, you can find some beautiful and peaceful natural scenery, with hundreds of plant species to discover with over 2 miles of walking trail.
The Arboretum is also home to the Founder's Oak, a tree that is over 170 years old.
Another great place to visit for a more relaxed and quiet atmosphere is the Julie Collins Smith Museum of Fine Art, which is tucked into the southeastern corner of campus.
This is one of the best art museums in Alabama, and a real gem for a city the size of Auburn.
Though most art goes above our heads, we do greatly appreciate the creativity and skill that artists have in bringing their visions to life.
One of the best-kept secrets in the Auburn area is Chewacla State Park, located on the southern edge of the city limits. Chewacla is one of the best parks in Alabama, but it's also one that isn't as widely known or visited as some in other parts of the state.
This park has a lot to offer, from hiking trails to a large 26-acre lake with a swimming area to full campground facilities. They even have these dreamy stone cottages that you can rent. Perhaps the best feature here, though, is the mountain biking trails.
These world-class mountain biking trails are built and maintained by the Central Alabama Mountain Peddlers.
We enjoyed exploring some of the hiking trails, which offer some really great scenery, including waterfalls and rock formations. In our opinion, Chewacla is one of the most underrated state parks in Alabama.
While it may not be as popular as some of the other parks in the state, it offers some beautiful scenery and unique features. We highly recommend visiting here if you're in the Auburn area. You won't regret it.
Another park worth mentioning is Kiesel Park, which is Auburn's largest city park. It has a walking trail that's over 2 miles long, a pavilion area, a large dog park, and even a historic house from the 1850s that's used as a venue for special events.
We really love the large koi pond as well. This is a neat park with plenty of space to relax or even have a sword fight.
One of the hidden gems that we discovered on our visits to Auburn is the Crayer Preserve and Nature Center, which is on the north side of the city. This natural preserve consists of 120 acres of beautiful forested scenery, with over 6 miles of walking trails and some great features.
As part of the university's School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, it hosts educational programs as well as serves as a living laboratory for wildlife research. This is a real gem of a park that we honestly had never heard of before. We'll definitely be back here to explore even more in the future.
From the famous lemonade and toilet paper at Toomer's Corner,
to hanging out with 87,000 of your closest friends at Jordan-Hare Stadium,
to getting outdoors at Chewacla State Park.
it's easy to see why Auburn is the loveliest village on the plains.